gentlemen, every year at our anniversary event, we had a Hall of Fame ceremony honoring some of the great contributors to SCWPro. This year's induction is Markus Trey. Here to induct Markus, his longtime friend, former SCWPro heavyweight champion, Night Wagner.
How's everyone doing tonight? Enjoying the 19th anniversary? So tonight we are here to induct into the SCW Hall of Fame Markus Trey. Now this isn't about me, but I just want to share with you guys a little bit of something. I've been doing this since 2007, and I have to say that I've always kind of prided myself on being able to get in the ring and grab a microphone and just say whatever I felt right off the chest. I never really practiced anything, or I just always say what I felt. But tonight, inducting Markus into the SCW Hall of Fame, I gotta tell you, I have had a month to think about this, and I've spent every day thinking about what I've wanted to say, because I do not want to mess this up. Markus has been my best friend for almost 15 years now, and he's been basically the most special person to me for a very long time, and I want to do him right. I want to do his family and his friends right, because he means everything. We got his entire family over there in the corner too, and I want to thank all of you guys for coming. So, you know, he's been gone for about 8 months now, and there's not a day that's gone by where I haven't thought about him and how much I miss him and how much just my daily life has been impacted. Because I have a lot of friends I just send memes to daily, but I always send it to him because he tells me whether he saw it or not already. But tonight is about why is he in the SCW Hall of Fame. So a little backstory. Danny Daniels, another SCWPro Hall of Famer, kind of the granddad trainer of SCW, so to speak, had 3 classes here. The very first class was Merrick Brave and Tyler Black. Where were those guys? The second class was myself, Crotch, Shane Hollister, and a bunch of guys who aren't around anymore, but we love them still. And then there was a third class, and that class was Johnny Wisdom, Markus Trey, Moondog Bernard, and Juice Robinson, if you can hear that. Yes. And that class was held at the SCW Arena over in Rock Island, which was kind of short-lived. That was a bit of an experiment for us. That class didn't quite finish because we lost the building, as sometimes happens in SCW 19-year history. And then Markus finished up his training with Chris Hero, which, if you're an NXT fan, you may know as Captions. Now, I'm going to pull back the curtain just a little bit for you guys, but when a wrestler trains, when a wrestler goes on car rides, when they talk to each other, and they discuss what's it going to take to make it to the absolute highest level in all of wrestling, what is it, the qualities, what are the qualities that it will take to reach the highest level? A phrase you'll hear often is be yourself, but with the volume turned all the way up. Be the best possible version of yourself that you could be. And kind of the inspiration for a phrase like that was probably Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. Guys who came out and just did what they felt to the absolute highest level, and it didn't even matter what anybody else thought, what anybody else felt about them, because let's face it, The Rock was booed out of his mind when he was Rocky Maivia, and he had something to say about it. But if you want to talk about a person coming out with the volume turned way up, and a person who was absolutely himself in front of anybody, and who absolutely did not care what anybody felt about him. You are literally describing Markus Crane, the person. And I want to explain to you that Markus did not turn the volume up. If you met Markus outside of the ring, that was Markus. Markus did not turn it up for anyone. He was himself when he was out in this ring. And when we talk about all the wrestlers in SCW history who are accomplished, who have done something with their career, there's only 3 people in SCW history that have gone to Japan, and Markus Crane is one of them. And the other two, Seth Rollins and Dante Leone, did not main event in Koryuken Hall against their idol. Their idol. Markus Crane wrestled his hero in Tokyo, Japan, in front of one of the largest crowds he could ever wrestle in front of in Tokyo, Japan. Nobody else in SCW history can claim that. So, if there was ever a reason to go through the back catalog of SCW, maybe you're a new trainee in SCW looking for some inspiration. There are a lot of guys in here that can take inspiration from Markus and being themselves. I mean, Shane Hollister turned a corner when he became the Shug because we all told him the Shug was our favorite part of Shane, and he brought it to the ring. He suddenly just blew up and did better than he ever did. Merrick Brave, I don't know if Merrick Brave ever really cared what anyone thought of him, but I think that's what we all appreciate about him. A lot of guys turned the corner when they started being like Markus, when they started feeling themselves and showing you what was truly in their hearts, because at the end of the day, Markus was a guy that was out here to have a good time, and he wanted all of you to have a good time with him. He had ridiculous entrance musics. He had ridiculous names for his moves. He came out to the most ridiculous stuff and did the most ridiculous things for you. He once replicated the most famous scene in Titanic with his manager on the road here with Jacob Queen and the Queen's Men a long time ago. He once got suplexed by Eddie Kingston and held a double bicep pose the entire time, even when he was knocked out. He got suplexed into a Christmas tree once. Like, Vader, the biggest show we ever had in SCW history until you guys sold out the Coliseum for Scotty 2 Hottie a few months ago. He found out he was wrestling Vader, 400-pound mastodon who could do a moonsault, and he had the biggest smile on his face seeing he was about to be killed by Vader. He was so happy about that. It was ridiculous. If there was anything you ever needed to learn from Markus, it was to have a good time. I never met a person that knew Markus. He was the best judge of character. If anybody was about to meet somebody and Markus already knew them, they asked his opinion on it, and he said, "Oh, I don't like them." They already didn't like that person because Markus was a great judge of character. So, tonight we celebrate Markus. Markus, as well as anybody in SCW history, deserves to be in the SCW Hall of Fame for everything he's done, all the influence on indie wrestling that he's had, but more importantly, all the influence he's had on the locker room and the people that he's ever met, because he was one of the most nicest, genuine people I've ever met in my life. If you knew Markus, you would probably feel the same. I thank everyone for wearing the Dream Eater shirts tonight. I know his clothing store is actually still going too. I believe Angel is still running it. And if anybody ever met Angel when she was in this neck of the woods too, she's gotten herself in maybe the best shape I've ever seen, and she just finished her training as a professional wrestler. So in a way, she's going to be carrying on the legacy in her own way too. But give me just a second to unbox this. This 2022 class of 2022 award for Markus Crane, I'm happy to present that this is not mine. Thank you for the Pobans family so much for coming out tonight. This belongs to you. So, Victor, can you bring the parents in real quick? Victor used to be an SCW commentator, but I took your job, so.
Actually, technically, I did.
Thank you so much.
The first brought Markus out to Donahue when he was 15 years old. He said he had to be there, and he ended up in Japan. So, all you guys, just work at it. You'll be there.
Well, just real quick, I just want to say once again, on behalf of our family over there, the Publix family, everybody, we all want to thank you for coming out. Kent, Lori, this is a wonderful night. Thank you. They're brave, Black and Brave, everybody. You guys do an awesome job putting the show and continuing on. 19 years strong. I'm glad to say I've been a part of it. Everybody in the back, everybody in the camera, everybody that does tickets, merch, all that stuff, keep doing it, man. This is a great company. I'm so proud that I was a part of it, and we're so proud to induct Markus in the Hall of Fame. So thank you guys. Appreciate it so much.